Right, grade 12s. I'm now going to do question 1.2 from last year's control test 1. All right, they give me the geometric series, okay, of 3, now my pen's burning out, 3x plus 1, 2x plus 1, sorry, plus 3, 2x plus 1 squared plus 3, 2x plus 1 cubed plus dot dot dot. Whatever your first three terms are, what is important to get is that you know your a is your first term, okay? And to get your r value, I don't know why my pen's burning out. Just take your second term, no matter what it looks like, and divide it by your first term, okay? If you do that, the 3's will cancel and that will cancel. So your r value will be equal to 2x plus 1. Okay, now in this first question, it says, for which values of x is this series convergent? Okay, now the only way that it will be convergent, okay, is if my r value is a fraction. Because think of your general formula. A, t to the n is equal to a times r to the n minus 1. If I gave you 3 times a half to the n minus 1, because that's a half, it means that I'm going to have a decreasing function, which means that as x gets bigger, this is going to tend to a certain value. Okay. Whereas if it had been 3 to the 2 n minus 1, that would be a divergent series. It would be going like that. As x is getting bigger, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? So if they ever ask you for which values of x is this series convergent, all you're going to do is say it is going to converge where my r value must be smaller than 1 and bigger than minus 1. And then you're going to treat this as an inequality. So the first thing we have to do is minus 1 from both sides. So that gives me 0, and that gives me minus 2. Then I'm going to divide everything by minus 2. Okay, and I'm going to get x must be greater than positive 1, but smaller than 0. Something's funny here. Ach man, divide by positive 2. Positive 2, positive 2. So that will be minus 1. So x must be bigger than minus 1 and smaller than 0 in order for this to be a converging series. Okay. All right. Then the next question in this question says, just calculate the sum to infinity if my r value is a half. Okay, so they basically said to me, if my r value is equal to a half, then 2x plus 1 must be equal to a half. Therefore, 2x must be equal to minus a half, and therefore x must be equal to minus a half divided by 2 is going to give me negative a quarter. Okay, I can then take that negative a quarter and I can sub it back into the first three terms and get 3 times a half plus 3 times a half squared plus 3 times a half cubed. Okay, and I will see there that my a value is 3 over 2 and my r value is a half. And my sum to infinity is therefore going to be a over r minus 1, which is going to give me 3 over 2 over minus a half, which is going to give me positive 3. Okay, all right. I'm going to have to charge my pen a little bit, and I do have to go to the bank with my mom, so I will carry on a little bit later, okay?